everybody, welcome to another math video. For this video, I'll be talking about the determinant as far as quadratics go. Quadratic equations, quadratic formula, all that stuff. Okay, so here's what we'll be doing, just like I said. Okay, so let me just remind you what the quadratic formula looks like. So the determinant is this part here under the square root, b squared minus 4ac. So that's what we'll be focusing on for this video and this particular topic. Okay, like I mentioned, that's what we'll be focusing on, just in case you weren't sure what I was talking about. So there's a few scenarios that we'll go over. So if the determinant is 0, then you have one real solution. Now, if it's greater than 0, so it's a positive number, then you have two real solutions, and they're normally, or not normally, they're usually two different answers. Okay, and the last scenario is if it's less than 0, or if the determinant is negative. So, depending on the topic you're covering, you can either have no real solutions, or if you're covering complex numbers, then you would have two distinct complex solutions. So it just depends on what you're talking about. Obviously, if you're not in complex numbers, then the only real solution you have is no real solutions. Okay, so why use the determinant? Well, this kind of helps lighten the load. If your determinant is negative, you don't have to do the quadratic formula, because if you're dealing with just real solutions, you won't have any. But then if you're dealing with complex numbers, then yeah, you're going to have to do it anyway. But it kind of tells you what to expect. Okay, so let's go through a few examples here. So we're going to see how many possible solutions these equations have. So here's our first one. Okay, so if you recall, standard form of a quadratic equation was ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so, and here I'm omitting the negative because you're going to square it, so it doesn't really matter. So remember, it was b squared minus 4ac, which is what we're working with. Go ahead and simplify, and we get a positive number. So that means we have two distinct real solutions. Okay, so if you're still working on, if this is new to you, you might want to put the negative in. But since you're going to square it, that sign doesn't really matter anyway. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so I'm going to get B, A, and C in that order. Okay, go ahead and simplify. And our determinant is 0. So for this one, we have one real solution. So quadratics normally have two solutions. In this case, both solutions are the same value. So we can just say there's one solution in this particular case. Okay, let's take a look at this one here. Okay, so again, I'm going to get A, B, and C. Okay, I'm going to simplify. Okay, so now this time it's negative. So depending on what what you're looking for, you either have two complex solutions or no real solutions. Okay, so if you're working in the real number system, no real solutions. Working in the complex number system, two complex solutions. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. If you need to take a look at the examples again, go ahead and rewind. Any questions, leave them down in the comments. Otherwise, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you next time.